Okay, welcome to Kick the Can podcast. Really happy tonight to have Frankie Pagnotta coming on with me. We're going to continue the discussion that I started a few weeks back with the nicknames of the characters that we encountered in the neighborhood and beyond. So, Frank, how you doing? Welcome.
I'm good, thank you. It's a pleasure to be on. This is a fun exercise.
Yeah, it's good. It's like a prevention exercise where
right.
we could stir up the memory banks, you know.
Yeah, depending on how many we killed, back in the day.
Yeah. So everybody's in the prevention zone. I like to say.
Absolutely.
Past the prevention.
So let me start. I have to call you out because you said I went back and listened to the other one, and you said you had no nickname. Where was Paulie Petz?
Oh, no, I do have a nickname. That's right.
Paulie Petz.
Right. So it's a good place to start.
And then let me do myself, right? Because somehow I ended up with Frankie Pagnotta,
right?
Which I can't figure out. The only thing I can think of is somebody came to my house and said, "Can Frankie come out?" And my mother must have said he's sleeping.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know who claims that story is Danny Calaro.
All right.
He claims that story.
While we got Danny, you might say Danny. There was Danny Tacci. There was Danny Martino.
Right.
You got to say Danny Porkstore, and everybody knew.
Right.
Who we were talking about.
Danny Porkstore was his nickname, and kick and your nickname. We thought that it was because you were sleeping or something, and it stuck pretty good until like when you were pitching and all of that. I think he was still just Frankie with the Zooks and all of that. But on our block, you were Frankie Pagnotta, and I'll tell you a quick story. I probably mentioned it to you, but I want to share it with everybody. Another longtime buddy of ours was Stephen Albano. So many years ago, I talked to him pretty regularly. He goes, "Paulie, there's a guy on Facebook, Frankie Pagnotta. He wants to be my friend or a friend request." I go, "I'm not remembering a Frankie Pagnotta." So I says, no, Steven, that's Frankie Pagnotta. He was like a light bulb.
You say that. That's funny. The same thing happened to me with Danny's brother, Patty.
Patty Calaro.
Patty Calaro didn't know my last name. I went back and I told him it was Frankie Pagnotta, and he knew right away.
Yeah. So even though we thought that the name really, that's how you were known, even not to your face or in conversation, it didn't matter, Now, what is your interpretation about how I became Paulie Petz? Because only the old timers,
The only thing that I can remember is Paulie Petz is you were puffing.
Because I was always bipping it up. No, it was before that. I think
before that?
Oh, around the same time. Those guys that gave me the name, it's the the godfather of nicknames is Gino DeVivo.
Yeah, Gino. Right.
He says, because like when we went out to the Lollipop second floor, I had long blonde hair. I was just coming because I had nothing to do that night.
And you were like a Petz, like a hippie.
Right. I was like So you speak good, the slang. So according to Gino, is Dewey Betts. So $2 or a 2-bit.
2 bits, yeah.
So so I guess it's a pretty good nickname.
Yeah.
Paulie Petz, and people tried to spell it over the years.
P-E-T-Z.
Yeah, that's how I would spell it. That's how I would spell it.
All
So
right. Let's go on. We got on Hoffman. We got
midget, right?
I think midget. You didn't mention.
Nope.
We got Googie, who was later known as Muldoon.
Right.
I don't know how he got Muldoon.
Googie's going to be one of the many I think there's few people that had 2 or 3 nicknames, Frank, over the course of their careers in the neighborhood, you know. But Googie Muldoon, you know, when he got to Benny's bar, his spot, he was Muldoon for sure, you know.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Well, then there was Leo, better known as Lenny.
Right. He was Leo to us. Then he became Lenny. And, you know.
And then his father, we called him Ichabod.
Right. That wasn't his name?
I don't think so. But it was Ichabod.
So if that was his name would be Ichabod Chufo. Yeah, you know.
Chufo. Oh my God. Yeah.
Right.
You know, half these people I don't remember their last name.
Right. You didn't need, you know, half the time you didn't need them.
All right. Now, so let's go to this. To me, is the goat family of nicknames.
Yeah.
You mentioned Squash, Mousy. I don't know Mousie's first name.
No.
And Joe Moe.
Oh, so
there was Tony Black.
Oh.
Jerry Gobb.
2.
And Sammy Spear.
Oh, so Sammy did have a nickname. Sammy
Spear.
We're talking about everybody. These are the Santinellos, 5 or 6 brothers.
6.
Frank, they came out of the womb with their nicknames. You know what I mean? I mean, you're not coming. No, you're getting a nickname, Mousy. Your mother's giving you that nickname.
Well, it fit him because he was a little guy.
Wiry. He was a wiry guy.
He was a little guy.
You know.
And here's one. I'm looking at my list that we left out of Hoffman Street.
Yep.
Ronnie Ladd. Remember, he had a nickname.
Oh, wait a minute.
That Michael gave him.
Refresh my memory.
Uzi.
Ronnie Uzi, of course.
Ronnie Uzi.
Yeah. So
Ronnie Uzi.
The brother gave him that nickname. And, you know, to go back to the Labs, is like a baker's dozen of them. So their last name is Labriola. So technically, when you shorten up the Labriola, you got Labs, you know. So people, they got a lot of nicknames were part of their name or somehow. I'm going to go one more with Hoffman and 189th, a guy that, in my opinion, had 3 nicknames. He was, when we were very young, he was Fat Ronnie.
Ronnie Beast.
Yep, go ahead.
Ronnie Best of the Beast.
No, just Ronnie Beast.
But he couldn't spell it. That was the problem. He spelled it B-E-S-T. I remember. And we changed it to Ronnie Best of the Beast.
Now, just to refresh my memory, he turned out to be a pretty bad guy, right? I mean, he did some bad things, and
I'm gonna stay away from that stuff.
You know, but we broke his balls like I would think for the better part of 8 years. We would say, Fat Ronnie's after us. Remember you used that expression?
Yeah.
We were like ducking between cars if we saw him come.
A person you wanted to stay away from.
Yeah, even then, because if he caught you by yourself, he looked to tune you up or whatever. But it didn't matter. Like we still broke his balls, even at risk.
Let's go to Eddie Boots. Now, I don't know how he got his nickname, but you remember one of his best friends, because they used to gamble together.
That would be maybe Paulie Bear?
No, the Worm.
Remember
the Worm? Yep.
The Worm I do not remember. Does he have a real name?
No, I don't know. We just knew him as the Worm. He played for Tessie's.
Was he built sort of?
No, he was a chubby guy.
Eddie's sort of chubby and short, Yeah. The Worm, I do remember.
Knew him as the Worm.
All right.
And then let me go. Well, I got the Worm. My friend for that unfortunately, like some of these guys, ad bonanima.
Yeah, too bad. Go ahead.
Yeamans. Remember Yeamans?
Yep, sure.
We used to call him Daddy Yeamans. The Worm gave him that name.
Oh, sounds like a chain.
The chain. Daddy Yeamans.
He was great.
Yep.
He was a pisser. Michael Yamens, right? And Yamens was his last name.
James was his last name. So let's go to Butchie's. Now you should be able to fill in the blanks here.
Yep.
Because I don't, you worked there. So there was Chaz.
Yep.
Obviously, everybody knows who Chaz is.
Now,
There
but
was,
he was.
Wait.
Go ahead.
There was Bobby Bear.
Yep.
And then, actually, I don't know if he hung out there. You mentioned Muzzy.
Yeah.
There was also Mush, who was prominent in
Bronx Tale. Yep.
Mush.
Yeah, they would talk about those guys. Basically, it was in Butchie's was Timmy Knapp. So that
Knapp.
was a shortened up name.
And Richie, his brother Richie.
Right. There was Fat Ricky.
Fat Ricky, who was Bobo's
brother-in-law. Yep. Fat Ricky. They were classics in there all the time, ball busters. And Muzzy, he was quite there's an episode right there.
Right there. Yep. And then we go to Mimi's.
Yeah. What's his real name? Yeah, what was the grocer?
But we used to call him Mimstein because he was cheap.
Yeah. One slice of salami in the sandwich. To connect off to Mimi now, I think he was in the Fordham Bears too, because he liked to play cards with those guys.
On a Friday night.
Do you have anything on your list with the Fordham Bears?
No, you covered the guys that I knew.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were other guys.
Yeah, but basically in that club, Wendy, but everybody had a nickname in there.
Everybody. Yeah.
No, nothing.
Then there was Jitney.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know his name, but he's the guy who sold those big hot dogs and he sold bikes.
Right. Yeah, the bicycles.
Up on near Camberley.
Yeah. It was Belmont and one block up from Butchie's. Yeah. And he was the hot dogs were the best. He had those peppers hanging from the rafters in his little shop there, and he had the bikes hanging up there too.
Yep. So let's go to Lorelod.
Go ahead.
Ricky Roadrunner.
Yep, that's good.
The purple Roadrunner.
Yep. You get a nickname for the car you drive, for sure.
John Yak, how he got that name, I have no clue.
It's a great one. And I think I see him on Facebook with his...
John is a medical marvel.
He
double lung transplant.
Oh, boy.
He had whatever disease he had. They found him a pair of lungs. The lungs they found they thought were good, but they turned out not to be compatible. A month later, they found him another pair. When I talked to him, I said, John, you need to play the lotto.
Yeah.
2 sets in a month.
All right. Right.
Double lung transplant.
And
I'll give you one.
Right.
Remember you mentioned Charlie Off the Wall.
Yeah.
Who was Stevie Gus's second cousin.
Yeah.
Louis,
Ohio. Right.
Right.
He was related to the Gustinellis too.
He was related to Charlie Off the Wall.
Oh, Charlie Off the Wall.
Charlie Off the Wall.
Those guys scare me even to now.
Oh yeah, and then there was Louis Vac who lived, right there.
Yeah, Bobby Bear lived in that building too on Lorelod.
Bobby Bear lived in that building.
That's a classic building.
Here's a blast from the past. Bonzo.
Oh right. Yeah.
And the sisters. I don't want to say their last name.
Yeah. Bonzos. Yeah, 2 sisters.
Then there was Joe Bird.
Of course, classic.
Who had Bobby Bird and Richie Bird.
Right. 2 brothers. And John Yak, his sister had a nickname.
His sister.
Joanne Cow.
Joanne, yeah.
Joanne Cow. The Batgate guys would call it that,
Yep.
So we went from Hoffman to Lorelod.
Here's one more
Go ahead.
you mentioned. This is a classic. Dom the Priest.
Yeah, Frank.
Dom the Priest and I were very good friends.
Oh.
You know, because I remember we stole a softball from Frankie G. We got in trouble. You know,
Yeah.
He followed us. But anyway, the story that is a classic. I don't know if you ever heard this story. He goes to Orchard Beach with a white sheet on.
Yeah.
And he's walking, and people are following him like he was Jesus Christ.
Right, bringing the guys from Section 13 to the promised land.
That's right.
You know, Frank, let's give a little. I mean, Dom the Priest was larger than life. You know, he was. A quick background was, 7th, 8th grade. I mean, he was the nicest kid in the boys' club. Yeah. Just never raised his voice. So apparently he was going to go to Cathedral. I think that's where Testy went.
Tommy Testy went, yep.
So I don't know if he finished, but, he became Dom the Priest because that was like a pre-seminary school for young men. So he went there. Naturally, he didn't finish. By the time, I don't know if he graduated.
I think he bugged out on LSD, to be honest.
Yeah. Right.
I don't want, people shouldn't throw stones from glass houses, but
no, but even if you can even I would soften it up a little. The guy might have bipped it up morning till night. You know what I mean? Because when you were walking up 187, up or down, going somewhere, you were going to bump into him pretty much, and he was bipped up. And I remember one time as only we could do as veteran ball busters, we see him coming. And somebody just started singing the song "Sky Pilot" by I think it's by Eric Burden and the Animals.
Eric Burden,
Sky Pilot, and I still.
For those who don't know, bipping it up is smoking pot.
Yeah. And he always had a stogie, ditched in. Yeah. He either definitely rolled his own pot, but he rolled his own cigarettes too, because he was like almost from the other side in a way. He
would have been a Petz for sure.
Yeah, he was great. And then we had plenty of conversations about him. He's a good guy.
Then we go actually back to Hoffman Street, the jib shop.
Oh, on 187 and Hoffman.
Hoffman. Tony Bugs, who owned the place.
Yep, Tony Bugs.
And his son, they gave him Charlie Bugs.
Charlie Bugs, right.
And card games, all kinds of stuff.
At the Zip Club.
We called it, you guys Zip, we used to call it the Jib Shop.
The Jib Shop. Yeah.
Jib.
Yeah.
Was a slang for guys off the boat.
Ah, yeah. Like a zip or a jip. Yeah.
Yep.
So
then we had away from there. Then we had, like I mentioned before, Tommy, Frankie, and Vito G.
Yep. Spatty. Right. Spatty was down Hoffman Street there.
Yep. Spatty's bar.
Yep. And John Spatty.
Then we had Fat Rudy.
Oh yeah.
Who turned out to be a pedophile.
Yeah, they were looking for evidence for him.
Yep, pedophile, and he had. I remember he coached the Packers, one of the football teams,
right?
And he had Poe, Common Potenza, Poe,
right,
and Ali was the center.
But you know what? Think about Rudy. He did so much. He organized. Got the refs.
Yep.
Took pictures.
Yep. Rudy, I have no bad words about him. I don't know.
I guess you do good. Somebody's gonna. Because this was years later, and that didn't really happen. I think people were afraid to go that route in the neighborhood because you could disappear. You hugged the wrong kid.
Yep.
Excuse me, Frank.
Who else? We got Bobby Cap.
Bobby Cap, yep.
There was Pal. Remember Pal? He played for the Lions.
Now these are the older guys.
They play with Tommy G. And
okay.
G. They used to play on Sunday mornings.
Right.
right? Then there was Dills. He owned the. He was a teacher, like a gym teacher, and he owned the. What do you call it? He owned a shop right on Arthur Avenue next to Louis the Barber, a travel agent.
Travel agents and tax
Yes,
returns.
Dills.
Yep.
Then there was a guy who used to be a bartender in Amici's before when it was Michael's Bar.
Yep.
Jerry Gobb.
That sounds familiar.
Yep. And then there was a guy I remember because it was an odd name. He didn't play. He played against them. He played shortstop and quarterback on another team, Miggsy.
Yep. Because I know the other guy. He was he on Uncle Louis Lab's team? Those are the Pack
football,
Rats.
I think
Miggsy.
Football, yes, yeah, Miggsy.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was those older guys too, and those football teams they were great, because they blended the Adams Place guys, all ages, like from us up to the older guys. They were great. Like we touched on our last episode about sports and all. Really good entertainment to go around. On that Hoffman Street too was Danny Gaga. I think he lived in one of those buildings over there.
Yeah, Danny Gaga.
Right.
Yeah. I remember the name. I just can't place his face.
He was sort of he was blended in with those guys that were advanced drug users from Hoffman. Did I mention Frank Stitches on that last episode?
You did not.
Because if you want to go to the druggies, Stitches was right up there. Danny Gaga too. I think he was. He turned out. If I'm thinking of the same guy, his mother was the crossing guard on 189th and Bathgate for us Mount Carmel guys, if I remember right.
That's deep. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
How about while we're on Hoffman, it just reminded me. It was the grocery store on one corner. There was Michael's on the other. There was the gym shop, and then there was another Albanian grocery store.
Okay.
But the grocery store on the corner, remember Rico?
Did he own it or work there?
No, he was the son of the guy who owned it.
Oh.
And I don't know if you. I was talking to Devo the other day. Rico turned out to be. He used to expose himself to the girls.
Oh, Jesus.
And I know that because it happened to my wife.
So Rico's probably.
But he never went away because
there was self-policing.
Rico.
Oh yeah.
What else?
I wanted to jump up to you were going to say Bobo, right?
Yeah. Now Bobo had a partner. You remember Bobo's partner?
Yes, Ziggy.
Zigzy. And if you remember the story, they knew nothing about football. But they were strong kids.
Yeah. They were.
But they were also a little loose up top. Because I remember we would get them fired up. We told them that the guys on the other team were cursing at their mothers, and they would get all wound up, and you couldn't contain them.
Yeah.
They were wild.
So how do you think Bobo got the nickname?
I don't know.
I don't know. His name was Ralph, and Zigzy, I don't know. Was his name Michael? Or I don't even know his name.
I don't remember.
That's the beauty of these names, Frank. You don't know the people's.
I'll tell you a Zigzy story. Zigzy used to live behind the rectory where the priest used to live.
In Mount Carmel.
Right next
to the church. Right, there was a rectory there.
This was back in the day that you couldn't eat. You weren't supposed to eat meat on a Friday.
Right.
So their window used to face the kitchen in the rectory, and it was a Friday. And this is a confirmed story because Zigzy told us this. The cook is making pork chops on a Friday night, and his father spotted it. Told his wife, We eat meat now every Friday. If they can eat meat, I can eat meat.
Classic. Just having a living next to the rectory, and you could, like, the priests are your neighbors. Matt and I, we passed by the brother's house. We did a little neighborhood run a few weeks ago, so that's just completely something different. Now that's on Laurelard. I wanted to jump up to a little bit on Bathgate, where one of my favorite nicknames. I know I mentioned him in the other episode. It's a Gino DeVivo original. Frankie Shemia. Now,
Frankie Wimmer.
Right. So, what's the translation for Shemia?
Shemia is like an ape.
An ape. So, basically, you're calling a kid right to his face that you look like an ape. It's classic.
I wrote down a Gino saying, and I can't remember who he called this. Gino called him Kabili Kosi.
Yeah.
And the translation, the loose translation is hair like that.
Hair like that. That's for Freddie Marolda. Yeah, because the hair, Freddie's hair, basketball, football, his hair was still at attention. And then with Gino too is Senzakabil. That's no translation needed.
No.
Classic. He was classic.
What else we got? Now Johnny and Stevie Gus, right? So they had Gus. You mentioned Joe Beanpole.
Yep. He was like right down Hoffman.
Right
across my our block. Your block. My grandfather.
Right, and then there was. I didn't know. We didn't. She ran not a brothel, a bed and breakfast, I guess, back in those days.
Arost, right? And there was that huge tree in front of that house.
It's still there, I think.
That house, Frank, could have been on every Halloween. It was a broken down house with a big broken down tree in front of it, and she would come out and. If you were just moseying by like we did, we were in no rush to nowhere. She'd come out, start screaming like a real witch,
And she had the chickens in the back. The rooster used to crow.
So Arus is probably a nickname too, right?
That's Arus is red.
Right, so it's not a name or anything.
No, nobody knew her name. All right, now Johnny Gus, right? His father had a nickname. Remember his nickname?
Joe Body, I would think.
Joe Body was the funeral home.
You would think that was their last name, too.
Joe Shack.
Did not know that.
Now, I'm not, I don't want to, again, talk out of school, but Shack meant something, shacking up. And it was Joe Shack.
Joe Shack. That's a good nickname. Joe Shack.
Here's a couple of blasts. Ralphie Horseneck. Yogi,
sure.
And Ito.
Yep. Ito. That wasn't his real name, I guess.
Ito was not his real name.
But he was.
Ito lived on Hoffman Street.
Near the labs or near us?
Across the street, near the Malangs.
Clang, clang, clang. Vote for Malang.
Now, Ito, if you remember, they used to be next to the Bathgate next to the church. There was a house, the hippie house.
Bathgate and where?
No.
On Laurelard. Yeah.
There was a house. There was a hippie house. We used to go in there with them and smoke pot all the time.
Yeah.
Ito took off with one of the women cross country. Never came back.
I remember the name. I don't remember the face.
Yep. Here's a couple. Remember Misha?
Yeah.
Misha's claim to fame is his jerseys were like spanking new. We had a Fordham Bear jersey. Remember we got the red, white, and blue Fordham Bear jersey?
Softball, right?
Yeah, that the club paid for?
Yeah.
I saw him 20 years later. He still had it, and it was in mint condition.
Yeah, he was one of that fraternity of PS45 pitchers like yourself. You know, there was only a handful of you guys.
Yep. Who else
Misha.
we got here? We got Frankie Voot. Remember Frankie Voot?
Nope.
Skinny little kid, played for Paulie Bear, the Belmonts.
Where was he
And another
from?
kid-
Crescent over there, that side
No,
of it.
he lived across the street from the chicken market
On Arthur.
on Arthur Avenue. On top of Freddie Merolda's father's card store.
Right.
Frankie Voot. And another kid on that team, Ponzi.
Ponzi or Bonzi?
No, I think it's Ponzi. I don't think it was
Right.
Bonzi. I looked at his picture because I have a picture of
Right.
the football team. I think he passed away.
Right.
Ponzi.
Let me throw a couple in because Tex Hernandez, that wasn't his name.
X and G Joe.
Chicho.
Tex and G Joe, and then there was the black kid, Peanut.
Yeah.
Remember Peanut? He was
Yeah,
a Boys Club guy.
And didn't he play? Didn't he wind up? He was so fast, like nobody could stop him in football.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peanut.
And I think about Tex because they would practice their band, the garage band, in the boys' club.
Yeah.
And Johnny Fruit was in the.
Johnny Fruit.
And his father had the fruit stand, correct?
Yep.
Johnny Fruit.
And there was the guys from Cambrelling, the name that always sticks out. There was Peter Hutchdorfer.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a nickname, but there was Liggy.
Yep.
Liggy?
Yep, that was a shortened up name. I know Liggy lived on. I think he lived on Cambrelling.
Yeah, he might have lived not too far from Dominic Adavazio.
Yeah, because
He might have lived on the other side where Joe Bird used to live.
they came. His mother used to come to Butchie's. You know, they were friends. The Ligoris were friends with Butch's family, the mother and all. You know,
And
Liggy.
So we had then, if you remember, and so we got some women in here.
Yep.
There was Little Row and Big Row.
Is
But
that
the famous one, Kathy Mutz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kathy
And
Mutz.
her sister was Connie Mutz.
Connie Mutz. Connie was the older one.
Yeah. They lived near Butchie's too.
Kathy and Connie Mutz. Now let me give you some names that the last three that I have. And now these were not friends, but people that you knew. There was Jake the Bum.
Jake the Bum, right?
The Albanian Prince.
Don't know that. Oh yeah. Well, he was right and dressed up in like a military garb.
That's right. Jake the Bum and the Albanian Prince.
Yeah.
And then the last one, beloved guy in the neighborhood, Miguel.
Yeah. He surfaced.
The girls got gum for free, but the guys had to give them money to get gum.
Quarter. But I know I ran into Miguel even recently. 5 or 6 years. He still only wants a quarter. He's not. He didn't get no tariffs or inflation.
Yeah. Well, John and Liz actually ran into him.
That's right. You told me the story, and somebody scraped up a picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's living with his sister.
What a real story of just persevering, and living through a lot of things. And you know what? Go ahead.
So that's my list.
You're very thorough there.
I don't. I'm sure we missed 100 of them.
I know. I'm trying to. My smile is like chiseled on my face when you start to think of all these characters that came through. And I know I mentioned Billy No Brains. Those are like some of my favorites.
Yeah,
Billy No Brains, Frankie Shemia, Charlie Off the Wall. They really described the person,
Yeah, I mean, I would bet that if and it's got to come to your mind. You can't sit there and think about it. Like all the guys we played football with, softball, hundreds of guys, because back in those days, that's all we did was sports, and the field was full all the time.
Yep.
Just
You stayed at the field. If you had a game, you got there early to watch the game before you. If your game was over, and you had a little time, you stayed and watched the next game a little bit, unless you had to go, you got to go home for lunch or something.
There was D.
Yep, Frank D. Right.
Robert Dulio.
Oh, is that his last name? D.
Yep. Because his sister, I remember his sister Marie was friends with my wife, from the bank where they used to work.
Okay.
But because Marie used to stop in the bank, but I think he's doing better, but he's still not in great shape.
Yeah. And another guy, was I bumped into. He probably had a nickname, but I always think of D, and I was talking about somebody from Adam's Place, about Paulie Bear. If he's around or whatever, I guess Eddie. I'm gonna have to consult with Eddie on some of these the status on some of these folks. But you want to hope everybody is good. It's so a quick update too, Frank. Next weekend I'm going down to the Jersey Shore, a Bronx reunion weekend. So if this pans out the way I'm going to have a lot of content, and I'm going to be interviewing characters. So how this came about to me was it was the Adams Place guys. Actually, they became the St. Martin's, Mount St. Michael. So there's a group of guys that I know.
The only name I remember from there is Cardarelli.
Yep, he went to Mount. And then there was John Fasano. He played.
He's on Facebook. I see him.
Yep, he played. So, but they were friends with these two twins. They were Phil and Lou Zanieri. They didn't play sports.
I remember the Zanieris.
Yep.
Were they? There was Zanieris on
Belmont. I think between 183rd and Crescent. Yeah. I think that's where they live.
Yep.
There was the two brothers we know, and now through John Fasano, who I meet occasionally for Thursday afternoon day drink, he's friends with Louis' two sisters. It's a Barbara and a Lisa, I think. And the sister Lisa, she bought a hotel, Frank, down in the Jersey Shore on the ocean. Wow. So she renovated it and all this. They had a weekend last year. Fasano went, Phil DiMartino, he went. He's another Mount guy. And it was a load of laughs, So I right away when John Fasano told me about it, I says, how do I get myself? How do I get in? So sure enough, Gino, he's he does the life insurances and the like. Those two Zanieri sisters are Gino's clients, or used to be, whatever. Wow. So he's going. Gino got a group together. He knew I would be all in. So I'm excited. I'm going to have a lot of content. I'm sure I'm going to see characters come out of the woodwork. And if it's really that great, next year we could maybe expand ourselves. Maybe a half a dozen of our group, could get ourselves down there on the beach and just telling stories. So I'm hoping it's going to be a great thing to get going. How's we doing? It's a little personal. How's your daughter doing? Getting close?
A month ago.
A month ago. Okay, so you're coming around the home stretch.
Yep, June 14th.
Yep, and I told you we're going to have grandbaby number 2 in November.
Yep.
So it's all good stuff. How are we doing, Matt, with the time?
40 minutes.
Oh, we did good, Frank. 40 minutes.
Ah, okay.
Nice. So, all right, good. I think...
Here's that popped in my head. female. I don't remember if she had a nickname. I don't think so. Vera Kaiser.
Vera Kaiser.
She was friends with Kathy Mutz.
Exactly. Yep, Vera Kaiser.
Vera Kaiser.
Vera, because you always think of, like, for us, especially, it was Vera Grasso.
Vera Grasso.
Johnny was they were bad kids.
I saw Rotachi the other day. She came into. I met her in Starbucks.
Oh, okay. It's good to see those girls on Facebook. I enjoy that. Just seeing what they're up to and what their opinions are. It's fun. It's good stuff. Boy, I think I talked myself out, Frank. But you did. You carried the load for me.
That's all right.
It's so appreciated. I think we hit a home run here, and keep your wheels spinning. Another month or two, we'll get some more going. Yeah. And we're gonna experiment with some video, and we got 2 cameras.
Did you off topic? Did you happen to pass 45?
We did, Matt. I just mentioned that to Matt before we started tonight. The field. I'm just gonna let him put up the picture. Okay. And the only good thing about it, I thought, was they're not putting a building there. They don't seem to be digging down like for foundation and stuff. Uh-huh. But it's not going that fast. But that was a positive that we took away from it, Yeah. And then I'm going to be like the man on the street down in the neighborhood. Me and Matt, we go down there. We saw Louis Squash. Had a great picture with Squash.
Yeah, I saw the picture, yeah.
Yeah, and then he do a little small talk with Louis Squash, Frank. Really, how priceless is that? It really is. So it's fun, to see all that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Enjoy the holiday weekend, Frank. Thank you again.
You and thanks for having me. Thanks for having me participate. I enjoyed it.
Our pleasure.
Take it easy.
Bye now.